Okay, someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Great, thank you. Okay. So, settling in. Allowing your body to come to rest into the support beneath you. Using your inhales and your exhales as your focus. Starting to notice any gripping or tension you might have brought with you to your practice, and using the exhales to soften and release. Just watching your breath, allowing it to move freely in your natural rhythm. So the shoulders become a little heavy, the jaw softens, the hips release. Aware of the rise and fall of the chest. Working with the breath right now, pranayama. When we move into yoga asana, the physical practice of yoga, and this yoga practice helps us to go from acting or moving from habit or muscle memory to making wise choices. So that's why I always encourage you to feel the pose, to move slowly, mindfully with the breath, bring awareness to your practice so that we can make wise choices and not just move from our muscle memory or habits, anticipating the next move or even the next breath, but just being okay right here, right now, with the hope of bringing this practice on our mats into our everyday lives. Becoming more aware of the felt experience. We allow the breath and our wise hearts to guide us. A few more rounds of breath here. Maybe allowing the breath to move a little deeper as the body starts to expand and open to accept the breath. Maybe a little more of a complete exhale, gathering the belly in and up, hugging the breath out gently, no effort. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Making the inhales and the exhales the same length for 2 more rounds of breath. Breathing into the heart space. Breathing into the lungs. In some cultures, the lungs are considered the wings of the heart. And I really love that image. So we'll stay with that image that my teacher, Rolf Gates, brought to me. Of breathing into the wise heart and the wings of the heart. And with your next inhale, allowing the arms to extend, to reach up overhead, whatever that means for you, softening through the shoulders, extending through the fingertips without efforting. And maybe your legs are extended as you reach into the heels, drawing the toes to the knees, feeling a lengthening through the side and back body and pointing the toes, feeling an opening or allowing an opening across the front body, and then exhaling, floating the arms to either side of the hips. Inhale there and exhale, allow one knee and then the other to draw in for a hug. Maybe getting a little movement, rocking from side to side. Moving slowly with the breath. And then finding stillness there, allowing the feet to float to the earth with knees to the ceiling. Feet hips distance, shoulders rest. With your exhale, the belly button hugs to the earth as we allow the lower back to open, the entire back body to lengthen. With your inhale, hip points rock to the knees. Heart floats up. Exhaling and inhaling your breath, your body, not forcing anything, but just experimenting with the breath as it initiates the movement. Noticing where your edge is today and meeting your body in that space. And then finding stillness there and rooting into the foundation of the feet. The safe support of the earth is always beneath you. And we use that for our foundation. So we root into the soles of the feet and activate the legs and allow the shoulders to press into the earth, to root there, but no effort, just aware of the muscles that engage, and then the opening across the collarbone. Soften the back of the neck. Using the breath to exhale into the foundation, and inhale, lift the sacrum straight up to the ceiling, any amount, an inch, 2, 3. Exhale, lower down. Maybe coming straight down onto the sacrum. Maybe you're rolling down one vertebra at a time, careful of the lower back, not forcing anything, but allowing, not anticipating, but just noticing this moment. Aware that the breath teaches us that we can only do one thing at a time. So we inhale and lengthen through the front body, and we exhale and lengthen through the back body. One more round like this. And coming to rest, the hips on the earth. And exhaling, the left knee draws in for a hug, interlacing the fingers and back of the thigh. Maybe you can reach around the shin, but be sure that you're not efforting and you haven't drawn the shoulders away from the earth, that they're still resting on the earth. Maybe you allow that knee to back away from you, extending through the elbows, and then exhale, hug the leg in. It's a gentle hug, not a forcing, but aware that with the breath, with each movement perhaps, maybe you can go a little deeper as the muscles start to warm up and the body remembers. The muscles return to their length as we use the breath to let go. With your next exhale, find stillness, releasing that bind, inhaling that leg straight up to the ceiling, and making some circles through the ankle, one direction, and then the other, slow and mindful, as if you were moving in honey. And then finding stillness there and fanning the toes away from each other and gently curling them in. Looking into the joints of the toes, fascia in the bottom of the foot. Waking up the muscles and finding stillness there. And reaching into the toe joints, maybe the toes themselves fan out a little. So in between flex and point, we call this a Barbie doll foot or Barbie. stuck this way. And then make some basketball-sized circles. Keeping the body still on the earth as you hug the belly button towards the floor beneath you, as you draw the front ribs towards the earth, towards the back. And then isolating the movement to the leg in the hip socket, slow and mindful. And then reverse those circles 3 times around like this. And after that 3rd rotation, finding stillness there. Big inhale and exhale, maybe lowering that leg straight down to the floor, keeping the belly hugging in and up. Couple of rounds of breath here, letting the right leg come to meet the left. Just noticing, does the right side body feel any different than the left? No judgment, no expectation. And exhaling, one knee and then the other steps on, one foot and then the other steps onto the earth as the knee bends. Inhale there and exhale, draw the right knee in for a hug. Clasping again, back of the thigh, over the shin. Maybe this side's a little different than the other. Soften through the shoulders. Notice what you feel. Back of the thigh, glutes, lower back. Maybe you're inhaling, allowing that knee to extend away from you as you open up the elbows, and exhale, gently hug it in. You're moving slowly with a fluid motion, no jerking or efforting, to allow the body to open naturally with the breath. Meeting the body wherever it is today. Allowing the focus to remain on the breath, to be in this moment with this breath. Nice. And then finding stillness there with your exhale, releasing that bind, and with your inhale, extending from the hip to the heel as it reaches up to the ceiling. Nice. And then making some circles through that ankle. 3 times slow, mindful in one direction, and 3 times in the other. And then finding stillness there and inhaling, the toes fan out. And exhaling, gently curling in. Remembering that you can always catch up to us, or we can catch up to you, that you're moving with your breath, what feels good for your body today. Sometimes resting in stillness, sometimes moving, finding stillness here, and extending into those toe joints without effort, finding the ease in this pose, and hugging the belly towards the earth, the front ribs to the back, and making those basketball-sized circles. Body is relatively still, resting on the earth. Just to engage those core muscles that stabilize us, and then moving the leg in the hip socket. And then reversing those circles. As you keep extending into the toes to lengthen out of the hip, but keep that connectedness on that hip to the earth. Nice. And then finding stillness there. Maybe with your exhale, that leg floats straight out down to the earth. Maybe you bend the knee. And then the left leg comes to meet it. Finding the breath. Inhaling the right arm alongside your ear. Walking the shoulders over to the left, and both legs walk over to the left. Finding the breath. And allowing the inhales to fill the entire right side body. Aware of the muscles between the ribs opening to allow the lungs to fill completely. Maybe you feel the breath from the armpit all the way down to the space just below the ribs. The entire thoracic body expanding to accept the breath. With your next inhale, walking the legs back to center, and with your exhale, that arm floats down. Inhaling the left arm alongside your ears, soften there. And exhaling, shifting the shoulders over to the right. And then allowing both legs to walk over with equal weight in both sides of the hips so that left hip stays on the earth. So there's lengthening through the left side body and a space for the breath to fill. From armpit to waist, ribs expanding, lungs filling, aware of the breath. Not thinking about the next pose or the pose that we just did, but being right here with this pose, with this breath. With your inhale, coming back to center and exhaling that left arm down. Inhale there, exhale, both knees come in for a hug. Getting movement again if that feels good. And then finding stillness and allowing the knees to stay over the hips as if you were sitting in an invisible chair. Shins parallel to the earth, feet flexed. Legs are active. And how's the back? Do you have a curve, a natural curve in the lower back? We want to keep that curve, sacrum rooted to the earth, front, lower ribs hugging towards the floor. Just muscles engaged without compromising the breath. So the breath is smooth and even. Maybe you're staying right here and this is enough core work for you. Maybe with your inhale, the left knee floats away from you. With your exhale, the foot taps down. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale, knee over hip. Belly engages. Move with your breath in a rhythm that feels right for you. Slow, mindful. You can move. We're staying on the left side for now. If this is too much for your lower back, you can bring that right foot to the earth. Maybe 3 more rounds like this, or maybe you're coming to stillness. So as you move slowly, mindfully with awareness to the sensations in the body, you take care of yourself. You meet your body where it is today. Letting go of all effort in finding the ease. The breath, coming to stillness after that last round. And with your next exhale, the belly gathers. Inhale the right knee away. Exhale, tap the foot down. Inhale the foot up. Exhale, knee over hip. Inhaling, exhaling, your breath, your body. Maybe that left foot comes to the earth. And that releases the efforting in the lower back. Only you know what's right for your body today. With this breath, in this moment. Tapping into the wise heart, the sensations in the body. And then finding stillness there and exhaling, both knees come in for a hug and rocking from side to side. Nice. allowing the body to come to stillness and the feet to float to the earth, and walking them the width of the mat, nice and wide, with the knees still up to the ceiling. And then with your exhale, both knees float over to the left. With your inhale, they float up to center. And with your exhale, over to the right. And we're allowing gravity to act on the body to draw it deeper. We're not forcing anything. With the breath, we're releasing, allowing the muscles to regain their length, to soften the fascia so that the legs float in the hip socket, rotate in the hip socket, knees to the earth, shoulders resting in stillness, breath moving freely. What do you notice? Is one side a little different than the other? Keeping the length through the side body. Just this breath. Familiar movement. Can we bring more awareness? Bring deeper focus to the breath. Next time you inhale up, find stillness there. Walk both feet to hips distance and using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Allowing the knees to draw up a little closer to the chest. Allowing the shoulders maybe to soften forward. Opening up through the back of the neck, maybe the forehead comes towards the knees. And finding the breath as it fills the wings of the heart, so that the entire thoracic body expands with the breath. I had this image of a peace dove, a perfect white bird. And they usually show this peace dove with a peace offering in its mouth. So I like to think of the heart offering, the lungs filling this peace that is within us always. Using your hands to press into the earth, exhale, gather the belly to walk yourselves up and over onto all fours. Take time to pad your knees if you have a blanket or a pillow there. And then find your child pose. Your expression of child pose at this moment might be a little different later in the class. Maybe your big toes touch and your knees are wide so that the belly softens between the thighs. And you have a straight spine from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. And the third eye makes contact with something, the earth, stacked hands, a blanket, a block. The shoulders soften and the breath moves. Can you direct it into the back body? Filling the back of the lungs. Deep, complete inhales. Soft, peaceful exhales. With your next inhale, coming up onto all fours. Finding that foundation there. Reaching into the palms without over-efforting the pads of the fingers. Soften the arms in the shoulder sockets. They stay here. With your exhale, reach the hip creases back to the heels. With your inhale, come up onto all fours. Just a practice in linking simple movement and breath. Slowing it down so that it takes the complete exhale to reach the hip creases back. There's a pause, and then the complete throughout the inhale, you're coming back up. Keeping the integrity of the pose, the core body engaged without an extra ounce of effort to keep the spine long. To allow the breath to move. One more round like this. And ending with your inhale up onto all fours. And then coming up, walking yourself to stand on your knees if that's comfortable for you. And rolling through the shoulders. So sitting on the heels or being up, whichever way feels good, just so that we can roll through the shoulders. Big circles. And forward a few times. And then inhaling the shoulders up to the ears and softening them down towards the waist. Inhaling up, exhaling, softening. Inhaling up, hugging the shoulder blades together, maybe pausing here to allow the breath to fill that broad space across the collarbone, and then allowing the shoulders to rest down. Keeping that opening. With your next exhale, walk yourself forward into tabletop again. Set yourself up so that you can find the ease in the pose. No efforting in the wrists. The core is engaged, but not hugging so tight that you're compromising the breath. The spine is long. With your exhale, find your cat as the tailbone tucks the spine, rounds gently towards the ceiling. Maybe the top of the head comes towards the earth. With your inhale, tailbone lifts. Heart extends, reaches between the arms, maybe lifting the gaze. Exhaling, rounding, hugging the belly button up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reaching the heart between the arms. There's the lengthening of the ribs away from the hips with that inhale. There's no compression of the lower back. No congestion. Just deep opening, one vertebra at a time. Notice what you notice without judging it. We've done this hundreds of times. What is different today? Are you able to keep the focus on the breath and link each breath to the movement? With your next inhale, find a neutral spine. Walking the right hand to the center, right underneath your heart or under your chin. Inhale, the left arm straight out to the side. Nice. The belly's engaged. You're rooting into the earth. And maybe with your next inhale, you're staying right here. Maybe you're allowing the fingertips to float up to the ceiling. The arm stays in the shoulder socket. You're opening the heart towards the opposite direction, towards the left, and the arms coming along for the ride. Gaze to the right hand to soften the back of the neck. Inhale, extend through that heart space. Exhale, float that arm down. Walk the left hand to center. Inhaling the right arm straight out to the side, gazing to that left hand. Keep the integrity of the pose, root into that left arm. Inhaling, fingertips maybe rise to the ceiling. As you shine the heart open, not efforting in the shoulder, but twisting the heart, the thoracic body. With your next exhale, float that arm down. Inhale there, and exhale, reach the hip creases in the direction of the heels. Inhale, lengthen there. Exhale, find your expression of child pose. Maybe you've walked the knees wide and brought the toes together. 3 rounds of breath here. Breathing into the wings of the heart. With your next exhale, engage the core and inhale back up into your tabletop. Extending that right leg behind you, toes curl under. Keep the shoulders right there, just in back of the wrist creases, and extend into that heel. Maybe you feel a little lengthening out of the hip socket, a lengthening through the right side body. With your next inhale, activate the leg. Maybe it lifts towards the ceiling. Find the breath. Deep inhales, complete exhales. Bringing loving awareness to the experience of the body. So we can bring awareness, we can bring loving awareness to the felt experience of the body. Maybe that feels just a little different for you. Maybe you're inhaling that left arm alongside your ear. Maybe not. Soften the arm in the shoulder socket. To go deeper, we lift the thumb towards the ceiling as you feel space and lengthening. The breath is smooth and even. Backing out of anything that doesn't feel just right for you at this moment. Challenging the core without over-efforting. Finding the ease of the breath. Exhale, soften the hand down and that knee comes down. Take some hip circles here so the hips reach in the direction of the heels, out to the side, forward and around. Keeping the gaze of floor, soft back of the neck, reverse those circles. And then coming to stillness again and finding that foundation. Secure into the earth, rooting into the earth. Stable because of the core muscles, and inhaling, the left leg extends in back of you, toes curl under, lengthening into the heel. And when you're ready, activating that leg, it's working against gravity to come straight out from the hip, lift towards the ceiling. How's the breath? Rooting into the right hand, the left hand, maybe you're inhaling the right arm alongside your ear. Slow, mindful with the breath. And as you slow it down, you might find that you're more aware of the stability of the muscles that you need to extend, to lengthen. Aware of your edge. Not forcing yourself into something that's not working today. Deep inhale, complete exhale. That right hand softens to the earth. The knee comes back down. Taking hip circles or cat-cow, yogi's choice. What do you need right now? To just let it go. Nice. And then finding stillness in your tabletop. Walk your hands forward, one hand print. Curl the toes under. Root into the hands as if you could slide the top of the mat away from you. The arms become active, but let them draw back into the shoulders, into the shoulder sockets so that there's stability. Maybe this is where you're staying, activating the shoulders, aware of the muscles that engage. With your exhale, maybe gathering the belly and reaching the hip creases back as maybe you lift the knees. Can you stay here for a round of breath with knees hovering off the floor? Reach the tailbone up and back and slowly inhale the knees straighten. And then bicycle out, walk your dog if you're in downward dog. Maybe you're staying in that with your knees down and just extending the arms and the hip creases. Still get the same benefit of lengthening through the back body, of strengthening those muscles around the shoulder. You're moving slowly with breath, bending one knee and then the other, aware of the lengthening in that straight leg side as you reach into the arm and extend the leg. And then finding stillness here in your expression of downward dog right now. Knees are soft, hip creases reach up to where the wall meets the ceiling. The neck is soft, the breath is smooth. Gaze forward between the hands, bend the knees, walk the hands and feet together. Inhale into half forward fold. So the body is parallel to the earth. The hands, palms of the hands are resting on the tops of the thighs. We inhale, the heart lengthens away from the sternum. We exhale and hug the belly in and up and draw the shoulder blades to the center of the back. Shoulders slide away from the earth, away from the ears. And we breathe into that space under the collarbone. Find that foundation through the bottoms of the feet, the soles of the feet. Activate the legs. As you inhale, hinge up, tailbone lowers to the earth as the crown of the head reaches up and the arms float out, around and up. Finding your expression of mountain pose today. Softening the arms in the shoulder sockets. Maybe they come out a little wider. Soften the jaw. Allow your chin to soften towards the notch in the collarbone. Nice. With your next exhale, float the arms to either side of the body. Inhale, palms face the ceiling as if you could scoop up the energy around you. Exhale, they float through the heart center, coming to rest on either side of the body. Inhaling up. Move with your breath. Exhaling, coming through the heart center, the center of the body. 3 more rounds like this. Can you bring awareness to the breath and move throughout it? What do you notice? What are the senses bringing to you? What are you aware of? Liking this, it is a moving meditation as we bring loving awareness to the breath and the body. Move into a meditation, connecting mind, body, and heart, allowing the hands to float together to the heart center. Connecting with that breath, soften through the shoulders. Allow the breath to move deep, to fill the lungs completely. Rooting into the circumference of the heels, allowing the foundation to become stable, the legs to become active, the pit of the belly to support the lower back. And you're taking what you need and letting go of the rest. If this creates too much effort for you and you lose the breath, then you back out of it. Just this breath, just this moment. If you're not at the top of your mat, you're blinking open your eyes and coming to the top. We'll take a few sun salutations, half sun salutations here. Warm up the entire body. We root into the feet at our hips distance. We find the circumference of the heels and allow the toes to rest on the earth. And softening the shoulders, root to rise. As we root down, we lengthen the crown of the head. With your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And with your exhale, we hinge forward. In whatever way feels natural for you, swan dive down, bring the hands to the heart center. And we rest in this half forward fold for a few rounds of breath. And we become aware of the body. And we move with intention, with a kind awareness, a loving heart. We exhale and maybe hinge a little closer to the earth. We inhale and come up. We exhale and fold forward so that we feel an opening, a sensation in the belly of the muscle in the back of the thigh. Not the joint in the back of the knee, not the hips. Aware of the lower back, shoulder blades together, heart extending, belly hugging in for support. Inhaling up, exhaling, hinging forward. And with your next inhale, you're coming all the way up to stand. Exhale, floating the hands to the heart center. Inhaling, the arms float out, around, and up. Exhaling, floating forward, leading with the crown of the head. Soften the knees. Inhale there. Maybe the arms extend alongside your ears, maybe goddess or cactus. And that is enough for you. Challenging the core muscles. As gravity gives a tug, you're reacting, your body is reacting, you're rooting into the earth, strong legs. Exhale, gather the belly. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhaling, hinging forward. Hip creases reach back. Crown of the head forward. Heart open, arms lift. Shoulder blades on the back. Press into the earth. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhaling, heart center. Let the thumbs rest against the heart here. Big inhale. Sigh the breath out with the exhale. Reconnect to the earth. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Aware of the wise heart. And the breath that fills, restoring us. Allowing the hands to float to the hips. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg so that you can step, slide, walk that right foot back. And how does this feel? Does this feel safe? Do you feel supported as you connect to the earth? Do you need to walk the right foot out a little wider? The left foot closer? Warrior one. With your inhale, the arms float up into cactus or goddess arms again. Aware of the muscles around the shoulders that are active to draw the arms to the room and back of you. Breathe into that open heart space. With your next exhale, root into the heel on the left leg that stays active. Inhale, lengthen the ribs out of the hips and exhale, bend into that right knee. How does this feel? What do you notice? What do you become aware of? How's the breath? With your inhale, straightening that leg without locking it out, extend the fingertips up to the ceiling. With your exhale, draw the shoulders down, bend into the knee. Keeping weight moving in and out with your breath. Keeping weight in that left heel. Find a gazing point. And softening that gaze. What do you become aware of as you move in and out of this pose? Where are you meeting your body today? Are you meeting your body where it is and not forcing? Next time you come into your warrior pose, find stillness there with your bent knee. Keep reaching up and down into that left foot. The quadricep reaches back and down or up and down. So you feel a deep opening in that hip flexor, yes. Exhaling, hugging that hip up or the hips up. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. With your next exhale, draw the right hip back and hinge forward. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hinge forward. Maybe you can bring that heart all the way to the knee. Maybe not today. Inhaling up. Move slowly, mindfully with the breath. 2 more times maybe, or coming to stillness so that you're aware of keeping that foundation of the core that engages to keep you steady, of the breath that makes it accessible. Last time, coming all the way up to stand, float the arms down, step that left foot forward, shake it out, let it go. Take some hip circles, one direction and the other. Land in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Find the breath. Hands float to the hips. The weight shifts over the left leg so that you can step or walk that right foot back. Then find the foundation. How does this feel? What do you become aware of? Maybe you need to walk that left foot wider out to the edge of the mat. Find the heel, the back heel resting on the earth. The right quadricep pressing back and then lengthening down. Inhaling the arms up into goddess if that works for you. Remember, I only make suggestions. You find what works well for you. Exhale, bending into that knee. Left, right, whatever you're on. Opposite of what we were. Breathing here, notice what you notice. Do you still feel stable and safe? Is the breath still smooth? With your inhale, straightening into that knee without locking it out, lifting the arms. Exhale, drawing them down, or not. Maybe you're bringing them out in front of you or lowering them down. Find something that works for you, just so you can connect to the breath. Linking the breath with the movement as we settle our thoughts. Nice. And coming to stillness with the next exhale. Inhale, lengthening the ribs out of the hips, soften the shoulders. Exhale, hug the hip points up for a little bit of a deeper opening as you press, reach that quadricep. The front of the thigh presses back and then we extend into the heel or not. With your exhale, keep drawing the left hip crease back, hinge forward. With your inhale, draw yourself up, strong in your foundation. Exhaling, hinging forward. Maybe you're able to bring that heart a little closer to the knee as you gaze to the floor. No efforting in the back of the neck. Move with your breath. Exhale, reaching into the heel, hinging forward. Hip crease reaches back. Inhale up. We find as we concentrate on the breath and the body, thoughts get a little quieter. Finding stillness with your inhale. Exhale, float the arms down. Step that back foot forward. Shake it out, let it go. Land in your Tadasana. And step to the long side of your mat. Walk the feet nice and wide with the pinky toe side of the feet level with the edges of the mat. If you're in a room, a lot of you have a bed that's accessible to you or another piece of furniture. So if you'd like to use that as a foundation, you can. We're going to float from side to side, bending one knee and then the other. And sometimes it's nice to be able to have your hand on something and think about the legs. So inhale, lengthen there. Exhale, root into the feet. Inhale, heart reaches away from the belly button. Exhale, hinge forward from the knees. And maybe you rest your hands on your bed or maybe the tops of your thighs. The knees are soft. You feel the belly of the back of the thighs, the quadriceps are starting to open. The belly hugs in and up, the front ribs hug up, the shoulders slide away from the ears. As you press into the right foot, the left knee bends and we have a deep opening in the inner thigh. Inhale to center, exhale, press into the left leg, left foot. Move from side to side, half breath to half breath. Inhale to center, exhale, bend the knee. Aware of the breath linked to the asana, the movement. Practicing to bring loving awareness so that we know where our edge is. So we check in, how does this feel? What are the sensations without labeling them or anticipating, accepting wherever the body is today, honoring it, and meeting it wherever it is. Nice. The next time you inhale to center, exhale there. And inhale all the way up to stand. Roll through the shoulders, soften them down the back, and let the right foot pivot to the short end of the mat. Nice. And then maybe square the hips so that they're level with the earth. How does that feel? Soften the shoulders, broaden across the collarbone, root to rise. Extend or grow your roots into the earth. Lengthen through the crown of the head, maybe extending through the fingertips. Nice, soften there. Keeping that connection to the earth, exhale, bend into the knee, the right knee. Nice. Lengthen there. Soften, connect with the breath. One movement linked to the breath. With your exhale, the left arm floats to the back of the thigh. With your inhale, the right arm extends up. Exhale, recommit to the foundation. Inhale, lengthen through the entire back body. Exhale, float back. Now you have some space maybe. Inhale, floating back into your warrior two. Gaze over that right hand. Exhale, left arm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, find the foundation. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, float back. Inhale back to your warrior two. Move with your breath in a way that feels organic for you. One breath at a time, one breath, one motion. Two more rounds like this. So 2 warrior twos, 2 peaceful warriors. What do you notice? Is the breath allowing you to go deeper as the body gets warmer? Are you anticipating? Or are you just aware of this moment and allowing it? Finding your warrior two, settling there, straightening that right leg, heel toe, walk the feet together, shake it out, let it go. Give yourself a break, roll the shoulders, and we'll walk the feet nice and wide to come to the other side. So now the feet are wide and the left foot points to the short end of the mat. We square the hips. We inhale the shoulders over the hips, soften the shoulder blades down to the waist. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. So arms can be active, but not efforting through the hands. Open through the heart space. Exhale, bending into that left knee. Soften there. Recommit to the foundation. Legs are active, so you're not hanging on the hips. Exhale, right hand floats down. Inhale, left arm floats alongside the ear. Exhale, commit to the foundation. Inhale, lengthen the ribs out of the hips. Oh, so much space to float into your peaceful warrior. Inhale, back to your warrior two. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, left arm extends up. Exhale, foundation is active. Inhale, lengthen through the back body. Exhale, float. Move with your breath, aware of each movement linked to the breath. Bringing loving awareness to the body. Meeting it where it is today. What was your intention for your practice? What are your habits on the mat? And how do they play into your everyday life? That's what we're learning. As we practice, we become aware. The next time you inhale into your warrior two, find stillness with that bent knee, arms extended. Float the hands down, straighten through that leg. Heel, toe, step the feet together. Bend the knees, walk it out. Nice. Balancing pose. So if you have, but moving in and out of it. So if you have a wall, a piece of furniture, something there, just in case, not that you're anticipating it, but it's there and it will help you. Maybe moving to a hardwood floor if you're on something squishy and you have that option. So finding a gazing point, doesn't matter which way you face. Exhaling, engaging through the core and rooting into the foundation through the soles of the feet. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown of the head. Find the ease just in your Tadasana pose. What are your habits? Without judging, just acknowledging and using the breath to soften and find the ease As you exhale, weight shifts over the left leg, coming onto the toes of the right foot. Strong left leg without locking out the knee. Hip draws in and up. Breath is smooth. Maybe you stay right here, challenging that standing leg to support you with the right toes on the earth. Maybe you can exhale, lift the toes as you flex the foot. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, lift the toes. Inhale, tap it down. Gazing point helps with balance. Maybe exhale, lift the knee to hip height. Exhale, tap it down. Inhaling and exhaling your breath. Doesn't matter which you're doing, as long as you're linking breath with movement, keeping the integrity of the pose, soft jaw, soft shoulders, strength of the foundation, ease of the breath. Next time you exhale, maybe that knee lifts a little higher. You extend, reach into that straight leg, toes to ceiling. And bend the knee and float that foot to the earth. Nice work. Shake it out, let it go. Find your Tadasana again. Start of all standing poses, connecting to the earth, reaching to the sky, allowing the weight to shift over the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left, and then rooting down into that standing leg. The right hip draws in, the crown of the head reaches up. With your exhale, maybe the toes lift. With your inhale, they tap down. Maybe this side's a little different than the other. Maybe you're barely able to lift the toes on this side and you're okay with that. Maybe you're able to lift the knee on this side and you weren't on the other. So just experimenting. Linking breath, body. How does this feel? Not anticipating, but allowing. Nice. Maybe the next time you exhale or inhale that knee up, whatever you're doing, it stays there and you find some strength in that standing leg. Maybe you reach into that heel with the toes to the ceiling. Deep breath in, exhale, lower that foot softly comes to the earth, shake it out, let it go. Root into your Tadasana, inhale the arms out, around, and up. Exhaling, hinging forward. Knees are soft, inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, exhale, maybe hinging a little closer to the earth, maybe not. Inhale, root into the feet. Lengthen through the fingertips, ribs extend, exhale, heart center. 2 more rounds like this. Deep inhales, complete exhale, slow, mindful movement, finding your edge. Lengthening there, floating deeper, hinging up. Last time. Inhale, arms float easily. Exhale, heart reaches, crown of the head lengthens. Inhaling, finding even more space to exhale and fold a little closer to the earth. Root down, lengthen up. Exhale, bring it to the heart center. Inhale, the arms float out into T. Exhale, left arm under right. Maybe the backs of the hands come together. Maybe this doesn't feel right for you. Maybe you're clasping the upper arms or shoulders. Soften there. Soften means letting go of efforting on either side of the neck, top of the shoulders, tips of the shoulder blades slide down to the waist. Maybe you can slowly inhale the elbows away from the body. It's very subtle movement, but you should feel this, or you might feel this in the back of the shoulders. And you breathe into that space, that opening in the back of the heart. Maybe you inhale The elbows come higher, but not efforting in the jaw, neck, or tops of the shoulders. Breathing here for 2 rounds of breath. Letting go of the efforting. And then with your next inhale, the arms extend out into T, maybe gently lifting the heart a little to the ceiling. Exhale, right arm under left, maybe backs of the hands come together for eagle arms, or maybe the fingers, the palms of the hands come to the upper arms or the shoulders. Soften through the jaw. Inhale, the elbows extend away from you, but not up yet, to a place that feels comfortable and easy to breathe into, so that the entire back body fills with breath. Maybe inhaling the fingertips up, not a lot, just a different kind of opening. Still soft jaw, easeful breath. And with your next exhale, root down. Inhale, extend the arms in T. And exhale, hinge forward, fold. Inhale, finding length, hands come to the tops of the thighs. Exhaling, maybe straightening into the back of the knees. Slowly with the exhale to find your edge. Inhale there, exhale, reach the femur bones to the room and back of you. Without locking the knees, trying to engage the quadriceps so we can open those hamstrings. The belly's hugging in and up, the back is supported, the shoulders are soft. With your next inhale, bend into the knees. With your exhale, press the femur bones to the room and back of you as you gently straighten the knees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Your body, your breath. What do you notice? Loving heart. Take care of the body. Easeful breath. The next time you exhale, find stillness there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deeply bend the knees. Float the hands to the earth. Step one knee back and then the other. You're in tabletop. And your choice. Maybe you'd like to float into downward facing dog. So you activate the arms, curl the toes under, reach the hip creases back. And when you're ready, exhaling the hips up and back. Maybe you're floating into child pose. Maybe a round of downward facing dog, and then you're coming into child pose. Maybe you're resting or coming to stillness in downward facing dog and trying that on. Breathing in, breathing out wherever you are. Connecting to the breath and the rhythm of the heart, the echo of the breath in the body. The entire body responding to the breath. And when you're ready, everyone meets in child pose if you're not there already. Maybe knees can stay together here. Maybe knees are wide. Allow the back body to open, finding its length here. Connecting with the rhythm of the breath. You can stay here, or you can choose to come into one final opening, hip opening, as we come into pigeon pose. If it's too much for you to come into pigeon pose, this way you can lie onto your back, and I'll give you that cue. So we're walking or floating that right knee right in back of the right wrist. And then walking that left leg back a little more. So we have a nice opening in that left hip, but we also might feel it in the outside of the right thigh or the glutes. And you're resting here. If this is too much for your knee to stay in pigeon pose, you can put a block or a blanket or a pillow under your right hip, keeping length of the front body, and maybe coming down to forearms. Or maybe you're on your back, taking that crossed ankle over the bent knee and breathing into the thigh this way. So 2 options. And you get to decide what feels good. Can you find the ease of the breath in the body? And allow those exhales to soften, to bring a softening, releasing all efforting. With your next inhale, scan your body. With your exhale, let go of the efforting. So that maybe you feel a lengthening through the right side body, a softening in the left hip, the right hip, the jaw, the shoulders. Where are you efforting? 2 more rounds of breath like this, backing out of anything that doesn't feel right for you. And after that second round of breath, you're exhaling there and inhaling back up onto your hands and extended arms. And sliding that right knee back. Maybe extending the legs straight and back into curling the toes under. If you're on your back already, you're floating both feet to the floor with bent knees and maybe giving the right knee a hug into the chest. And then sliding that left knee in back of the left wrist with the intention of someday maybe that left shin comes parallel to the mat. So I didn't say that on the right side. But maybe right now it's directly, the heel is directly under your hip. Maybe you're able to bring it a little more to the center of the mat. How does that feel on your knee? Both hips face the earth. Maybe you stay right here as you walk that right foot back, that right leg back. Maybe you're able to inhale, lengthen the heart away from the belly button and exhale, fold down. Maybe placing a block or a blanket underneath your left hip. And then releasing there. If you're on your back, you're crossing your left ankle over your right thigh. And breathing into the left hip as you offer that left knee to move away from you. Maybe walking that right heel a little closer to the hip, or taking the bind as you clasp the hands in back of the right thigh. Lifting that right foot off the earth. Soften the back of the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, always. The breath is smooth and even. Two more rounds of breath here. Scanning the body with the inhale and allowing the softening with the exhale. With your next exhale, walking your hands under your shoulders to press yourself up if you're in the pigeon, and coming to sit. So everyone's coming up to sit or not, always the option of finding another pose that works for you. Coming into a little bit of core work, soften the shoulders down the back, find the sitting bones, draw the heart towards the knees. Engage the core, zip up the front body, soften through the jaw. Maybe you're able to open up those arms and still keep the length through the back body as you come to the top of the sacrum. More core work, less hip flexor work. Maybe you're staying right here, still reaching the heart up, maybe opening up the palms to the ceiling. How's the breath? Maybe you're exhaling, curling, or carving out the belly, lowering down. Maybe you're coming to your elbows or rolling to one side or the other and coming to lie flat on the earth. Finally. Give yourself a hug as you exhale, draw the knees in. And we'll take a final spinal twist. So exhaling the knees up over the hips and then allowing one and then the other to float over to the side as you open up the arms, palms up. Maybe gazing to the fingertips opposite your knees. Maybe there's another twist you like better. I only offer suggestions. You find a place where the breath moves freely and easily. A place where the muscles can release any remaining gripping and tension. With your exhale, both knees come up to center. And inhaling, allowing them to float to the other side. Maybe this side's a little different and you honor that. Maybe it feels okay for your neck to gaze to the fingertips opposite the knees, maybe not. Don't anticipate. Maybe this practice is different than the last. So we adjust. And we learn to be in this moment. We change what if or if only to this is, to this moment. What do I have to work with right now, right here? With your inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. With your exhale, one knee and then the other comes up to the center, taking any final movement to complete your practice, and then settling into Shavasana. So maybe you like to have a pillow under your knees or under your head or a blanket over your body. And then finding stillness as you rest into the support of the earth beneath you. Allowing the body to be still. Aware of the rhythm of the breath and the subtle movement that that creates as the breath echoes throughout the body. Not controlling, just watching that rhythm. The breathing in and the breathing out. The breath that's always with us. One breath following the next with just a gentle pause between the breath. One breath and the next. It's that awareness of the breath that brings us back to this moment. That allows us to allow the thoughts to float away. We soften the space between the eyes, allowing the eyes to rest heavy into the back of the head, allowing the forehead to melt towards the earth, softening the jaw, allowing the tongue to slip away from the roof of the mouth and the lips to softly meet. All the muscles in the face melt towards the earth. Breathing in and breathing out. And in this time of uncertainty, of change, given the truth of change, it's a call for us to reflect on what is truly important in our lives. To bring loving awareness of the heart into our lives. To accept this moment and whatever it brings. Not clinging to the past or wishing for the future, but having the faith that will bring us happiness, that will bring us peace. So we practice yoga asana, physical yoga practice, to go from acting or moving from habit to mindfully making wise choices. We bring loving awareness to the felt experience, mind, body, and spirit. And we allow the breath and the wise heart to guide us. The breath that's always there, to bring us back into a moment of peace, to bring us back into each and every moment of awareness. To bring our yoga into a continuous practice. To take it off our mat and into our lives. Just by focusing on the breath. Gentle breath in, gentle breath out. Allowing the earth to hold us with the vast sky above us. And a loving heart that rests between the two. And I'll be here to guide you out. Slowly becoming aware of the earth beneath you, of the space surrounding you. Gently deepening your inhales and exhales. Slowly inviting movement back into the body as you softly rub the thumb against the fingertips, wiggle the toes. Maybe slowly turn your head from side to side. Maybe with a deep awakening inhale, we extend the fingertips up overhead, maybe interlacing the fingers to the webbing and reversing the palms away from you. And then releasing that bind, floating the arms to a comfortable position as you step one foot and then the other softly onto the earth, bending the knees. Transitioning here, feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Relaxed and peaceful. Ready to embrace the day ahead of you. The breath reminding us that everything we need is right here inside of us. With the breath and a loving heart. Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. As you allow the breath to fill the back of the heart. And what will you take with you off your mat and into your life? Keeping the eyes softly closed if that suits you, press into the earth and draw yourself up to a comfortable, easy seated position, whatever that is for you. And with your inhale, maybe the arms extend. And with your exhale, we float the palms together to rest at the heart center. We lift our hearts and we bow our heads. With a message from my teacher and all the teachers going back in time, that our practice is continuous, that we bring yoga into each and every breath and step, that our hearts are steady for ourselves and for each other, and that we dedicate our efforts to be of benefit to all beings. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May they find their freedom. May they be peaceful. And may they walk through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Bye. We'll see you soon.